Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Hello. It is time once again for Technically Clueless. It is that Tuesday of the month. I think fourth Tuesday. Did I get that right? Anyway, we plan it in advance. Here it is. And we are teaching you the best tech tips that we know of. We here at Digital Helpmates. I'm so glad to see some people online that we know. We are also streaming this on YouTube and Facebook for viewing later if you missed this class. So I am Laura Moynihan. I'm the founder of Digital Helpmates. We have some other people here on with us that also work for Digital Helpmates. We have Steve Olfest coming to us live from Denver, Colorado. He tutors on Apple and Mac devices, just as I do. We also have Miss Dana Hillman, who is coming to us from Yakima, Washington. She specializes in PCs, Android smart devices, and Google Apps. So thank you for being here, Dana. And we also, this is a very special Technically Clueless because we are focusing on something that our virtual assistants often help with. So I actually have invited a couple of our virtual assistants with us here today. We have Selena Buckley, who is here with me in Bremerton, Washington. She works as one of our virtual assistants. And we also have our newest virtual assistant, Ariana Wells. So welcome, Ariana. And Ariana is also here in Bremerton, Washington. Our virtual assistants actually is, not a lot of you know that we at Digital Helpmates not only do tech tutoring, but we also have virtual assistants, or as I like to call them, remote administrative assistants. They can come to see you in person, depending on where you live, or do work for you remotely. Help you with all sorts of different tasks, usually business related. And it is the fastest growing segment of our business right now. It's getting a lot of interest, a lot of new clients. So if that is something that you're interested in, if you've previously taken advantage of our tech tutoring and have thought, wow, I really would like to have someone do stuff for me, rather than just teach me how to do something, that's what our virtual assistants do. And you can check out more about what our virtual assistants can do at digitalhelpmates.com. Click on the little tab that says services and rates at the top and go down to remote administrative assistants and read more about Ariana and Selena and our other wonderful virtual assistants there. Okay, before we get into our meeting today, and today, by the way, we are teaching on free or very low cost apps that small businesses and or what I like to call solopreneurs might want to use, of which I was one for a very long time. Before I launched Digital Helpmates, it was just me and me alone. And I, got to know a lot of these different apps. We know that solopreneurs are a special breed of people that are not only brave and get out there and do all the things that a lot of people are afraid to do, launching those businesses, but also budgets are very tight when it's just you and you alone. And so you need to be able to operate a business on a very low budget with apps that are easy for you to use and that you don't have to go out and necessarily hire someone else to do it for you. And luckily today, that's one of the great things. One of the great strides that technology and the internet has made is that there are all of these apps that are affordable and do make it easy to do things that everyday people would not have been able to do within their business in the past. So we're going to teach you all about that in just a minute here. But first, before we get into that, a few announcements. Our next Tech Support Tuesday, you may want to write this down, is November 28th. That's the Tuesday right after Thanksgiving. So hopefully you will have been back from your Thanksgiving celebrations. You'll have digested all that turkey and you'll be ready to digest some more tech tips and tune in for an hour. So put that on your calendar from 10 to 11 right here live on YouTube and Facebook. If you'd like to see replays of this class or the class previous, we usually keep at least the last couple of classes up there. You can go to our YouTube page. You can also get to it from our Facebook group, which is where we post this live. You click on that, it'll bring you over to the YouTube page. If you forget, go to YouTube and look up Digital Helpmates, and you will probably pop up Technically Clueless, a nice colorful page. You have to click on the live tab in order to see this live stream and this replay of this class. And we usually only keep up a class for about a month. So try to make sure you watch it before the next one comes around in a few months, or else it will disappear forever. All that learning just gone. No, sometimes we recycle them in clips. You might see them again later, but the whole class just for a short period of time. And if you like getting tech tips in between these classes, my best tip for you, if you haven't already done this, is to go to digitalhelpmates.com, look for the first field there on the screen, and that is to sign up for our email list. We send out tech tips about once a week. We get a lot of great feedback and comments from people that they love our tech tips. We've been writing a lot about scams lately because all of us who have worked with clients have seen them get scammed. I take it on as a personal mission that if the scammers are going to work that hard to scam people out of money, I'm going to try to work equally hard to keep them from being scammed. So we are constantly educating and trying to keep you safe online, but we also teach you about all sorts of other stuff. So go sign up for our email list there. You won't regret it. It's free. At least I hope you won't regret it. If you do regret it, you can unsubscribe. That is your choice. And then finally, I have a really exciting thing to tell you about. We weren't supposed to announce this for a few weeks yet, but I'm going to do it because I'm just so excited. For the first year ever, Digital Helpmates has won the Best of Central Kitsap for the IT category. So we are very proud of that accomplishment. It's a big deal around here. I know not everybody is tuning in from Kitsap County, Washington, but around here, people really do pay attention to the Best of Kitsap Awards. And I've tried to get it every year. We're a small but mighty company. And finally this year, we did it. You did it. So I really want to thank everybody that voted for us. I really, really, really appreciate you. So thank you for that. Okay, you ready to get into our content? We've got so much good stuff for you today. We didn't get any questions in advance this time. And usually we kind of open it up and say, hey, whatever questions you have, let's answer them. But we have so much good content. And since we didn't get any questions in advance, I think what we're going to do is just dive right into the content. I'm going to be teaching you some stuff. Selena's going to be teaching you some stuff. Dana's going to be teaching you some stuff, and especially Steve. And Ariana is going to chime in because she has a lot of experience with a lot of these apps too, being a virtual assistant. So let's get straight into it. So we're going to start with me. I'm going to be teaching you about the creative app that I use the most. And this is not just businesses that can use this app. You as a person at home, maybe you're retired, maybe you just, I don't know, do whatever. You can create all sorts of creative things in this app for free. And this app is called, anybody have any idea what this app is called? Everybody chime in with me, say it at once. Canva. Yes, it's called Canva. Just like the word canvas, but with the S chopped off, Canva. Okay. So we're going to be talking about Canva and all the amazing things Canva can do for free, which is kind of amazing. There is, of course, a paid version. They have to make money just like we do, but there's a lot that they let you do for free as well. And I'm going to be talking about my favorite email marketing program, which is called MailChimp. So let me get into that. And actually, I was pretty excited that Canva does slideshows. And I actually designed a little slideshow for you all in Canva today. So let me see if I can get to that. Hang on one moment, please, while I pull it up. This is the whole thing of live. You don't get any redos. You have to kind of futz around with your screen. That's okay.
I actually created my background picture with Canva.
Did you now? Nice, nice. Okay, so here's the Canva screen, the little slideshow I did in it, and I'm going to hit present, and we're going to go into presenting mode. So let's hope this works. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen and all of it, and it looks like it's a horizontal format that is perfect for your phone. Okay, afterwards, I'm going to paste a link so you can have access to the slideshow for later. Okay, so I'm going to be teaching you the very basics of MailChimp and Canva, why you might want to use them, how to use them, how to sign up for them. I'm going to minimize our pictures here, which you probably are not seeing on your end. Okay, so why would you want to use MailChimp? Well, if you are a business, MailChimp, or there's plenty of other apps out there that can send marketing emails or really just bulk emails to large groups. It gives you that ability to send emails to large groups of people. I found out the hard way when I was trying to launch a food co-op that if you are trying to email, let's say, 100 or more people just from a regular email program, you are very likely to get blocked or worse yet, to get blacklisted by your internet service provider because they might view you as a spammer. So if you want to send out emails to large groups of people very often, MailChimp is a great way to do that. The other thing it allows you to do is it allows you to track the clicks, like where they click, what links they click, and how many people open that email. That tells you, are the messages that I'm sending out resonating with people? Are these the things that they want to be hearing about? And also, MailChimp allows you to schedule your emails for effectiveness and workflow efficiency. And what I mean by that is sometimes people are more willing to check their email. There's times of the day that they're checking email more often. That's the effectiveness. And workflow efficiency. You can gang up a whole bunch of emails. You can do a month's worth of emails, schedule them all at once, and then they just go on a schedule. So that really helps your workflow as a small business owner, which is really important. Did you know that 50% of people buy from marketing emails at least once per month? 50% of people. Marketing through email is still incredibly effective. This is why it's used so often, more than almost any other channel still today, even with social media and all the other things. So if you're a small business and you're not emailing your people, you're missing out on a really important way to market to them. Okay, so I'm going to do a short little clip here of how you can design a MailChimp email in under 1 minute for free. Okay, maybe this took me a little longer than a minute, but that's how long this clip is, okay? So here's how you do it. Here's MailChimp, and I did this on my phone, believe it or not. So you launch the MailChimp app, and you start here with design an email. Wait for the templates to load. They come up with these great templates that are already pre-designed. I'm going to choose, this takes the longest part, this design here, which looks like a normal email, left aligned. This is another thing, is that emails that are plain and don't have a whole lot of bells and whistles and pictures and whatnot are actually read more often than the ones that do have a whole bunch of stuff, just FYI. Okay, so it pops up this email. It's already all formatted for you. And from here, you just click in. You can take out any elements you don't want, like that button, and you click in and change your headline. So I do that here. I think I've pasted the, this is a welcome email, pasted the content of the email here, boom. And then at the bottom, I even decide to add in a picture or an image straight from my phone, pops it right in there. And that's it. There's my email done. Now, the only other things to do after this are to fill out the rest of these fields here, which just tell you, what the name of the email is, who it's going to, the subject, the preview text, which is what you see in your preview pane in your email. And then you can click send it. And that's it. It formats it for you. You don't have to know any code, any HTML, all of that stuff. And that is on the free version of MailChimp. So the paid version of MailChimp is only going to cost you between like $13 and $20 a month, which I think is incredibly affordable for a small business owner. That is, if you have under 500 contacts. If you have more than 500, it charges you kind of incrementally. Also, when you pay for MailChimp, that's when you can schedule and gang up, like a month's worth of emails at once. You can do things like journeys, which is, it sends out kind of timed emails on a schedule. Like say when someone first signs up for your list, you want to welcome them, and then you want to send them, a few more emails predictably as soon as they sign up, which is a really great thing for retaining your clients. And then of course you can remove the MailChimp branding with the paid version. So I think it's worth it to go up to paid, but it's great that you can try it out for free as well. Okay, so that's MailChimp in a nutshell. I know there's way more to MailChimp than that, but just trying to kind of give you a brief overview of why you might want to consider it. Now we get on to Canva. I get more questions about Canva, more people asking me to help them design stuff in Canva than in almost any other app out there. Everybody wants to learn Canva. And why? Why would you want to use Canva? Well, number one, and I know this because I used to work professionally as a graphic designer, design is expensive. Experienced freelance designers, I looked this up, charge between $65 and $150 an hour. That is absolutely true. If you can find someone that can do it for less, great, but you know that they're probably going to be someone who's just starting out. Agencies cost between 95 and 225 on up per hour. And also, you know, design, it can be slow. When all of your changes need to be routed through a designer, you get some new idea for something and it's like, oh, I can't just go in and make this thing, you know, then that costs you time. And here's exactly how much money and time. On average, a logo might cost, and there really actually isn't an average, but the best I could find was about $1,300, and 4 to 6 weeks. So, you know, if you are, time is money and you've got to jump on these ideas, sometimes it's better to just do it yourself. So I'm going to show you a very short clip of how you can design a Facebook post. I know I just mentioned a logo. You can definitely design logos in Canva. And actually, our logo is designed in Canva. I design everything in Canva these days. But here's how you can do a Facebook post in under 1 minute for free. So watch here. So again, I launched Canva on the phone app, and there was a little button down there that said Start a Design. And I'm going to choose Facebook post. And you get to choose between these templates. I chose this template. Replace the picture with whichever picture you want. I had one that I had uploaded here of one of our lovely clients named Sunny. Reposition it to wherever you like. And then, of course, you tap into where the text is and replace it with whatever text you want. Now, normally I am designing this on my computer, but I wanted to show you how this is so easy. You could be designing a Facebook post while you're in line at the grocery store to check out and pay for your groceries. It's literally that easy. And then from here, you can go straight, posting it directly to Facebook or wherever, or you can download it. That's my favorite. I like to download and save it for later. So I click download. It chooses usually the very perfect format for you and then saves it right into your photos. So that is pretty much Canva in a nutshell. The free version. The paid version of Canva, which I upgraded to a long time ago, only costs you $15 a month. Very affordable. It gives you what's called a brand hub, which is a great place to store your logos, your colors, your fonts, all that kind of stuff. Easy to access, pull it into designs. Voila, there it is. And it also allows you to resize graphics really easily. You know, all those different places you want to do something, all those different social media apps. Maybe you want to do a brochure versus a billboard. I mean, there's so many different sizes out there. Canva knows all the different sizes and just immediately resizes to fit perfectly with the paid version. So that is my very quick presentation of Canva and what you might use it for. And actually, I invited Selena to tell us a little bit more about Canva because she uses it for social media scheduling. Just like you can schedule emails to go out, you can also schedule social media posts to go out. And that is one of the many, many things that Canva can do. So Selena, why don't you go ahead and show us what you do when you schedule for social media posts in Canva?
Okay, let me share my screen. Can everybody see? Yes? Okay, sorry. Okay,
Yep.
so as Laura had mentioned, you can do Canva on your phone, but for me, I always do desktop because I like the bigger screen. So this is what it's going to look like on your desktop. This is the homepage for Canva. So what I do is just go to this little icon that says social media, click on there, go to Facebook posts, since most of my clients prefer creating Facebook posts. You can also do Instagram, you could do WhatsApp. There's other things you could do, TikToks, YouTubes, but I always do Facebook. I click here. This screen will pop up. And not to get too much into the design work, these are different templates, different ideas. You can even click on this search button here, type whatever you want, like inspirational quotes, because that's usually one thing some of my clients like to do. Click on one of them, whichever one catches your eye for whatever it is that you're trying to do. click into any portion of the design work. If you want to remove the mud, you can just go to delete. Whatever it is that you want to do, you can alter it however you want. Now, be mindful that because this is a free version, I don't know if you can tell on your screen right now, you can see the watermark for Canva. If you're using Canva Pro, the paid version, you won't have to worry about the watermark. So once you like how your design is, you could just come up here to the right top corner, click on share, and depending on whether or not you have people on your team, you could click in here, their names will pop up, you can share it with them, they can have access to edit or view whatever it is that you want them to see, they can see it. If you don't want them to see anything, they won't, it'll just be for your eyes only. But if you're a solopreneur, it's just yourself, you don't have to worry about anything concerning that. You can come here. They'll usually have default icons, usually for a Facebook page or Facebook group. You can click there. You would have to connect your accounts, whether it's for Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you would have to connect in order to post. You can also come down here where it says share on social, because it's only going to show you 4 icons. Usually 2 of them is just for social media. So if you come down here, you can download, which I usually always do because I like to save my work just in case. I get to also use that for the future, repurpose it however I want. But if I want to share, I'll just come down here and you see more options. So you have Facebook page, Facebook group, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those are the ones that are usually used the most. But if you do Pinterest, you can use that as well. But like I said, once you click on it, you have to connect. I unfortunately can't do this right now because I'm using my personal Canva and my my Facebook and all of my social media accounts are connected to my work email. I can't show that right now because it does show client information, but just connect and you'll be logged into your accounts. Once you do, you can schedule it to whatever days that you want. Unfortunately, because it's free, you can't pick the days. It'll only I'm sorry. I think you could pick the days on free, but if you have the paid version, you'll actually see a calendar that pops up. And then, yeah, you'll see a calendar that pops up. You get to pick the days, you get to pick the times, and you can also share to as many social media platforms that you want, as many times during each day as well. But yeah, for free, you're very limited to what you can do. So I would definitely advise that if you can, go to Pro. It's only $15 a month, but for free, you can still get this done. You can still share to social media. You just have more access to seeing the content planner is what it's called on Canva. I would like to
that content planner. I was hoping that we could take a look at that. Do we have our content planner just maybe for our stuff? Ready?
Yeah, let me try and move this out the way.
Because that is really cool. I don't care if people see our Canva. That's totally fine.
Okay, so let me.
I was looking for it on ours and I think they moved it around. So I'm not exactly sure where it is at the moment, but I'm sure you can find it very quickly, Selena.
Yes.
It's really neat because it kind of shows the whole month view. And then whatever you've designed in Canva, it's going to shrink that design down into a little thumbnail and put it on the day that it's going to post. So you get this nice overview of what is going to post on what day in what channel.
Yeah. So just to show you, I'll pick some random template. I'll go to the share button and I can go here to schedule. Like I said, you can pick whatever day. This is the month of August. You can schedule it. I believe it's only a few weeks. Oh, it's longer than that.
Oh, look at that. You can go way out.
Yeah, I guess they updated that because before it was only a few weeks.
Nice.
So you could pick whatever day that you want that you're able to pick the time frame. let's say 11:30. Go to next, and then you can type in whatever you want and hashtags, whatever captions you want. You can schedule it here. You can also save it as a draft. And then this will let you know that it's been scheduled. And you can click on content planner. That way you can actually see the icon that Laura was talking about. This pops up automatically, just to let you know this is what it's going to look like. This is all the information, when it's going to be posted, what time. If you decide you want to save it as a draft, just click on the button below. You can also go to the three buttons up here. Click on that. You can change the date and time. You can edit the design if you forgot to include something, or you decide, you know what, it doesn't look right, let me change it. You can do that. You can make a copy. You can even delete it, so you don't have to worry about posting it later on.
Let's see that calendar where it shows it. Oh, there it is. There's
Yes.
the little thumbnail.
So they'll show you that it's posting in April 2024 on the 10th.
Mhm.
And
That's
this icon right here, the F, that shows it's going to Facebook. You can also post other things on the same day, even the same time frame at 11:30 to Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and it'll show all in the same day.
nice. That's nice for holidays too, because you always know when the holidays are going to happen. So you could like do those way in advance and then fill out the rest of your content calendar and make sure you're not like posting too much or too little.
Yeah, so it gives you an idea, because some people, you might want to post daily or just weekly. It'll show you what you have going. It also tells you the holidays coming up, Earth Day, World Art Day. So if it can help incline you to create content for those days as well, if it never came to mind before. So I think that's really cool.
That's great. That's the thing I love about Canva the most is even, with my background as a designer, I always hated starting with a blank page. That is the hardest thing. Like, so just to start with a template, of course, I edit the, whatever out of it, the bejesus out of it. But to start with an idea first really helps speed along my design. Yeah. That's great. Thank you so much, Selena. I hope that a lot of people out there get some great ideas for how they can use Canva to increase their businesses. And for those of you that don't have a business, you could use Canva to create, like I said before, a postcard, something fun. I have done this for a client, a moving postcard, your own custom Christmas card. Canva can even print designs, physically print them and send them to your door. And the print quality is pretty darn good. So check it out. You will, like Selena said, I'm glad you mentioned the watermarks. With the free version, you do have to pay for that art, but it's incredibly cheap, sometimes just $1 or $2 or something like that per design. Okay, any questions from anybody watching about MailChimp or Canva so far? Any questions from you, Steve, or you, Dana? I know, Steve, you said you didn't really use Canva a whole lot yet.
It's actually pretty great for making birthday cards and things like that too, if you're so inclined. It doesn't have to be just for your business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just going to you've pointed out how to post on social media and how to create business content, but just the sort of the more of the extent of all the different things that you may want to use Canva for beyond that.
Yeah, basically, if you have an idea, click on create a design and then type it in and see if Canva can do it. Some of the new things, I mean, Canva started out with just doing, logos and, social media posts and stuff like that. Now you can do videos in Canva. You can do slideshows, like I showed you the slideshow. In fact, I actually just pasted a link to that slideshow. So you can view it whenever you want as a view only link. You can do, what else, Dana? What am I missing? Websites, birthday cards, Christmas cards, Mother's Day cards. I mean, just holiday, like Selena said, for whatever holiday is coming up, you can create pretty much anything in there. Posters.
Documents too, resumes.
Documents, not just like foldable brochures, but like 8.5 by 11 flyers, like lost dog posters. I mean, just
sign up forms.
Yes,
and then print them on your own printer. Then you wouldn't have to use their printing service.
Don't have
Right.
to. You can download it as a PDF and print it on your own printer. Worksheets, if you're a teacher, awesome for formatting worksheets, all kinds of things like that. So check it out and see if you can stump it. See if you
I
can.
would also add in, at least for me, I know that personally I tried out the free version and I was using it so frequently that I was like, I can actually commit to a full year of this. And if you are willing to commit for a full year, that monthly price goes from $15 a month to $10 a month. So if you try the free version, really love it, and then it's maybe worth paying for the whole year and saving a little bit of money.
Nice. Yes. And if you're a business owner like me, you get with the paid version for Pro, you get 5 seats. So you can invite 5 of your team members. So that helps save money too. So you can have other people designing for you. Okay, well, that was a lot in a few minutes, but we're going to teach you even more. We have even more stuff queued up for you. So next, we're going to move over to Miss Dana, who's going to teach us about some free or low-cost productivity apps that she uses and we use as a company too, and we get asked about all the time. So take it away, Miss Dana.
So first I'll be teaching about, let's see, Calendly.
And while she's looking for that, I should mention, we do have a few affiliates. In other words, when you click on their links, we get a little bit of money if you end up paying for it. None of the things that we are currently today talking about are we making any money off of. None of them. We are simply just supporting these apps. We've used them, we support them. So thought that was worth mentioning. So
before I met Laura and joined Digital Helpmates, I had my own little business going, and I was trying to find a scheduling app that would help me keep track of all of my clients. And Calendly, I felt, was probably the best one because the flexibility, the ability to integrate with Zoom and my Google Calendar, and eventually even an Outlook calendar. It's fabulous. So you can sign in, get started for free, either signing in through Google or Microsoft, depending on what type of email or calendar that you use, program. I use, not Laura, it's Dana.
Now, Dana, why did you choose Calendly? What was it in your business that made you think, I need Calendly?
So when I started my own business back in 2019, I had to be everything free. And Calendly connected to my Google Calendar for free.
But what does Calendly do? What does it do?
Well, let me show you, Laura. Calendly allows you to schedule something. Let me rephrase that. Calendly allows your clients to find an open time frame that you schedule. You say what your available time frame is, and your clients, once they have your link, they can find that time on your schedule. You don't have to, keep looking at your phone and keep looking at a paper. As long as it's linked to very specific calendars that you want it to look at, it will make sure that it only hits open slots on your calendars. If you have 5 calendars, one for a couple of businesses and one personal or 2 personal, it's going to hit every single thing and make sure that it's not going to show available times, so that you're not overbooking or double booking yourself.
So it's an appointment scheduling app.
It's an appointment schedule. Thank you for summarizing that. So the nice thing about this, you can see my tech tutoring sessions. You can have secret sessions, something that's not readily available to your clients, but maybe you want to do only specific sessions on certain days, or specific sessions with certain groups of people, whether it's networking or an internal team, right? The nice thing about this also is, what are your, oh gosh, it doesn't show it on here. Why is it not showing it on here?
You're looking for
I'm looking for my settings or my availability, right? Here's my working hours. You can do for free, you only get one event type. That's it. It's nice because it gives you a 14-day free trial for like the professional level, which I believe is $8. But you set your schedule. You can have date overrides. So say that this is what your regular schedule looks like, but on, at the end of the month, I'm going to have a 3-day vacation. You can add that 8 override by, hey, what hours are you available? I'm not going to be available on the 31st. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be enjoying the sun out in San Diego or something. And then you click apply and it's going to remember that. So it doesn't, book on that day at all or specific times only again. So, as you can see, I have my Saturdays only. This is a secret event because I want to be able to pick which Saturdays that I feel I'm going to be available to my clients. Maybe it's once a month, maybe it's once a quarter, that just depends on who my client is and what their availability is. Maybe they only can do Saturdays. So I give them the choice, like, here's my availability on Saturdays, go ahead and select that.
What
And
I
again,
really love about this whole thing is it makes our VA's job so much easier when they're working with a client, that the client says, okay, I want to do, say, for instance, I work in construction. And when I do site visits, I can only do them on these specific days, on these specific times. Instead of the VA having to remember all that stuff, the VA
Right.
just helps them create a calendar type for that type of meeting. And then when they're scheduling the client, they're using that particular calendar type. So you can
Right.
either have a VA or any kind of admin assistant or whatever do the scheduling for you, or you can just provide people with, can you show people the live page where they can see and book for themselves? Like you can put it on a website.
Why, sure, let me do that.
In fact, you'll see a Calendly link on the very front of our webpage when it says book a free, no obligation 30-minute appointment.
And you can see where it's admin manage. That's for the paid version though.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to show my client, this is what the client will see. The nice thing about this part too is you can put your logo on there on the free version.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yes, on the free version, you can put your logo there. But also, the free version only allows one event type, and only connected to one calendar. So I kind of cheated. So I imported my personal calendars into my work calendar as well. So then it also looked at that as well. So just so you know, it's doable if you have a workaround. However, it would be best to have at least a 1 tier up paid version, because it allows you to connect up to 6 calendars. And it doesn't matter if it's an Outlook, Google, or iCloud account. It's going to allow you to connect all of those calendars, and then you get to choose one calendar that all your appointments are going to be booked in. So that's one nice thing. The other nice thing for the free version is that it allows you to connect to Google Meet. It allows you to connect to Zoom. So you have the ability to select different ways that you will connect to your client during a consultation, a session, a discovery call.
So in other words, when they book an appointment, they can say, I want to meet in person, or I want to meet on Zoom, or I want to meet over the phone.
Right. Now, again, on the free version, you only get one type of event. 14 days free, you get all of the events. But then after 14 days, if you don't upgrade your plan to a paid plan, then it's going to go down to one type of event only. So that's something to consider. Now, this is for August. Today's the 22nd. I'm not available. 24th, I'm not available. But oh, look, tomorrow I'm available for these times only. And the nice thing about that is you can, once the client selects the time that they're going to meet with you, they will get a confirmation email that they can then add to their calendar. If they signed up to have a phone reminder, text reminder, that will get that to them as well. You select all the parameters, all the settings for when you want them to, confirm that they booked with you, and a reminder that they booked with you. So, that's nice to have as well.
And then
Also,
don't forget to mention rescheduling. That's my favorite.
oh, yes. So if you have to cancel or if you have to reschedule, that's also included in the confirmation email and even the reminder email. So I strongly suggest that you make sure you have a cancellation or rescheduling policy in place, because then, it's up to you if you want to charge for lost time or not, because sometimes, depending on what your business is, sometimes you don't, it doesn't matter. But to a lot of us, it does, because, that's lost time. But yes, free version, Calendly, there are some like Acuity or Schedulicity or something similar, but you have to pay to get connected to certain calendars. With Calendly, it was a free connection to Google, free connection to Zoom if you use Zoom, especially if you have a free version of Zoom, and Google Meet. So, I loved Calendly, and that's why I use Calendly.
Thank you so much, Dana. So I know that you also had planned to talk to us about Clockify, but I do want to make sure that we give Steve enough time. So why don't we'll come back to Clockify in the end if we have time.
Yes.
But for now, we're going to move on to the stuff that Steve is presenting, which is really, really important stuff. This is and crucial if you are a small business owner. How do you get a domain name and how do you get a website? Because these days, if you don't have a domain name or a website, you don't have a business. So Steve, tell us the free or low cost ways that a small business could do that. Steve, you're muted.
I think it's important to point out that everything we've talked about so far is not dependent on the type of computer that you have. So everything we've talked about is all cloud-based, meaning that doesn't matter if you have a Mac or a PC or a Chromebook or whatever the case is, even a tablet, you can take advantage of all of the applications in this presentation. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Google. First of all, just to point out, you can use Google for free, and you're probably familiar with having a free Gmail account. A free Gmail account gives you 15 gigabytes worth of storage that you can use for your email, your gmail.com email address, your files that we'll talk about that you could have created in Google Drive. Also, if you want to store photos in Google, you have that option. So those are the primary ways that you may take advantage of the free 15 gigabytes worth of storage that comes with the gmail.com email address. But 15 gigabytes of storage may not be enough for you. You may want to increase that. Google gives you all kinds of options to increase that amount of storage to have as much storage as you need for your gmail.com email address. But what we really want to focus on here is the fact that you can use your own businessname.com, your own domain.com as your Gmail account. Now that would be considered a paid account. And in a minute, we'll talk about how to set that up. When you set up a yourbusiness.com address, you're setting up what's called the Google Workspace account. And you're able to take advantage of all the same tools that the free gmail.com account is able to take advantage of. And they give you a few more tools as well to take advantage of as a business, and some more tools for being able to share your documents among your team members in your business if you have other people in your business that you need to share documents with and that kind of thing. So that all your documents, when you have a Google account, whether it's a free or a paid, your domain.com account are stored in Google Drive. So that's your cloud storage for your documents. You can log into your account at drive.google.com and organize your documents from there. You can create documents for your Google Drive using Google Docs. That's the word processor, of course, very similar to Microsoft Word, where you can make any type of document you want, change your fonts and your styles and all the tools you might be used to in any type of word processing application. But again, this is a cloud-based word processor. In other words, you're using your web browser to create documents. So you're creating everything sort of on the web rather than creating them sort of locally in your computer like you might be used to in something like Microsoft Word or Apple Pages. Google's spreadsheet application is Google Sheets, and it's very similar to Microsoft Excel. Apple's Numbers, where you can create any type of spreadsheet you want. Again, it would be saved in that Google Drive, and you can share it among you, and you can collaborate with your other team members if you have other team members in your business at that sheets.google.com website. And of course, you can also create presentations very similar to PowerPoint or Keynote at slides.google.com. So those are all going to be remotely stored in your Google account. Setting up an account at yourdomain.com, this is a per user charge. Each member of your business would have to pay for this monthly cost, and the differences in these different packages are the amount of storage you get. Firstly, the $6 a month plan gives each user 30 gigabytes worth of storage in comparison to a free gmail.com account, which is 15 gigabytes of storage, versus the next level up gives you 2 terabytes worth of storage per user, per person that you have at your company name.com. And then you get some additional security tools and so on when you get up to some of these additional levels here. So the next question is, how do you set up your business.com? Well, Google has had a program for doing that. It's called Google Domains. So you can just go to domains.google.com, put in your business name that you want to use .com, or you can use .info or any of the multitude of extensions that you want to use. See if it's available, of course, and you would pay Google Domains $12 a year to maintain that. So you can have your domain, whatever you want to have .com through Google. Currently, you can sign up for it through domains.google.com, but in a minute, we'll talk about some changes that are happening to Google Domains. Once you have that domain.com, then you can use that in conjunction with your workspace. So you can have your email, your Gmail email be at your domain.com. So when I see my email address, steve@digitalhelpmates.com, I know that it is coming into my workspace, my Google workspace account is my business Gmail account.
And just an FYI to business owners,
yeah.
Can I add a little something here? If you're
if
you're doing business with an @gmail.com email, that does not reflect very well in your business. I just have to say, people notice these days. You can't get away with that and make yourself seem like a big company or even a medium-sized company that kind of knows what it's doing. So give yourself a little bit more credibility with your clients by registering for an email that has your company in it, not gmail.com. That's all I want to say.
And a side note too, if you're already using another place besides Google to have your email hosted, like a local web host or something like that, you can migrate that to your Google account. There are tools for doing that. Google also provides a way to create a free website. So when you have your company.com domain, you may want to put that website online. Google Sites is currently the way to do that. You can create a very basic website. They give you some very basic tools to do that. At least your company name is out there at your companyname.com web address there. But all of that is changing. Google has sold off the domain and sites business to Squarespace. And so you can currently set up your domain and your site at sites.google.com, domains.google.com, but it will be migrated automatically to Squarespace, and we're not sure how that will affect the pricing. This is how Squarespace currently prices their accounts. All of their accounts include their website hosting, and they give you a lot more tools than Google Sites does. You can make a much more sophisticated website at Squarespace. So that includes your website hosting and your domain, and they have different levels available based on the different needs that you might have for your website to be. So we're not sure how that transition is going to happen, but for the time being, it might be worth at least creating your domain at domains.google.com and creating a free website at sites.google.com.
That's great. Thank you so much, Steve. I think, yeah, if business owners do nothing more than register, a domain name and put it on their email, that's probably one of the single best things that they can do for their business. I actually, when I was choosing the name, Digital Helpmates, I was literally I register all my domains at GoDaddy. I was at GoDaddy and I was like, okay, I'm going to see if the website's available before I even pick my business name. That's actually not a bad idea, because if you pick a business name that either the website isn't available or it's available, but you got to pay $5,000 for it because somebody bought it already and they're trying to resell it to you, that's not exactly an affordable strategy there. Any questions or comments from anyone here on screen? I know that Steve, you had told me something interesting that I didn't know, because I have not used Squarespace yet. For websites, that if you register your domain at Squarespace, it's kind of bundled in together with that hosting. And for those of you who aren't familiar, web domains are a separate charge and a separate service than web hosting, which is also separate from email hosting. Those are three unique things. Yeah, I guess Squarespace bundles together the domain and the web hosting, right, Steve? So that, that's something to consider too, because transferring a domain from one place to another, like say from Squarespace to GoDaddy, it can be a little bit of a tricky process. It's not as easy as one might think. So maybe, think carefully about that when you're registering a domain. If you're not sure you want to stay with Squarespace forever, maybe you want to register it separately at GoDaddy, and then you can have your website hosted anywhere else. We have our website hosted on WordPress, which I definitely don't recommend if you are a solopreneur with your very first website. Start with something like Google Sites or GoDaddy Website Builder or Wix, or maybe even Squarespace. They offer much more functionality, kind of drag and drop template design rather than, WordPress. There is some drag and drop stuff, but it's way more advanced than the average business person that's just starting out needs to use. All right, any last comments about any of that? Insights from a VA, Ariana?
I don't have any additional ones. I always learn new things in these things as well. So this is really enjoyable. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for listening in today. And I know the VAs end up working with Calendly a lot. We didn't really mention that. I know Canva gets asked about a lot, but Calendly gets asked about almost just as much. So again, if you want to kind of see how it works, and I would encourage you to do this, go to digitalhelpmates.com, click on the first button on the page, book a 30-minute appointment with me. I would love to have a phone conversation with you about tech tutoring or virtual assistants, and you can see exactly how Calendly works. So I guess we've gotten through all of the content today. So thank you so much for attending. Again, replays are available at our channel, Technically Clueless at YouTube. Go there and click on the live link to view this again. And hopefully we will see you again in 3 more months at our next Technically Clueless in November. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye.